Mid-meltdown is probably not when you feel like trying to connect with your child, but the truth is that's exactly what they need. While your instincts are screaming, just stop it. Your child are screaming, I'm in danger. Ideally, your child should be able to manage their own emotions, but when it comes to a child with a history of trauma, they genuinely can't. They don't know how because no one ever taught them. They need you to help them heal what's been broken by looking for the unmet need behind their behavior. Many challenging behaviors are the result of a child's inner struggle to regulate. This is the ability for them to calm their nervous system. This critical life skill doesn't come automatically. It must be taught by a caregiver. In order to regulate, every brain must master 3 stages: external regulation, co-regulation, and finally self-regulation. And it must happen in that order. Think, crawl, walk, run. The process starts in infancy when a baby can't regulate on their own and needs an external regulator to do it for them, usually the child's parent. This happens as a parent hears and responds to their child's needs consistently in a warm and loving manner. Then at around 3, the child becomes more independent and moves on to co-regulation. Here the child begins to understand their feelings, but still needs a caregiver's help when navigating big emotions. Once both stages have been mastered, then a child can move on to self-regulation, to calm themselves by themselves. You might want and expect a 12-year-old to be able to self-regulate, but if they never received external and then co-regulation, then they don't know how. Now that we have named the problem, let's look at its cause. Why is your child missing these crucial building blocks for emotional regulation? Secure attachment is the safety rope that allows a child to explore their world with the confidence that someone they can trust is holding the other end and will always pull them back. This is how babies first begin to build a perception of self, by looking to the person who provides them with care, comfort, and meets their needs. A healthy attachment cycle looks like this. A baby has a need, so the baby cries. A caregiver then responds to their cry by meeting their need, effectively saying, yes, I will feed you. Yes, I will comfort you. This pattern is repeated hundreds of thousands of times, creating a connection between child and caregiver and laying the first building block of external regulation. This is the path to secure attachment. But not all babies receive the consistent tender care needed to develop secure attachment. When a parent responds inconsistently to a baby's cries, the child's brain cannot establish a pattern of trust. At times when they're hungry, they receive food, but other times, no one comes to feed them. Sometimes they get prompt diaper changes when they cry, and other times they sit in a soiled diaper for hours. This lack of external regulation confuses their brains and bodies, leaving the child stranded in a state of distress or dysregulation. Instead of a parent teaching them how to calm themselves by providing comfort, the child is forced to invent ways to avoid discomfort. A child that fears hunger might hoard food. A child that fears pain may refuse physical touch altogether. This is how abuse and neglect can lead to children forming insecure attachments that leave them unable to trust any adults, whether safe or unsafe. Thankfully, that trust can be built now that you are holding the other end of their safety rope. You can provide their first secure attachment and be their foundation for building regulation. This starts with connection. Connection is the heartbeat of trust-based relational intervention. It's the key to caring for children with histories of harm. Your connection to your child is what will enable you to look for the need behind the behavior. Connection says, I see you, I understand, I care about you, I'm here to help. Let's explore 2 strategies that will help you connect with your child: attunement and mindfulness. Attunement means observing another person's behavior, interpreting that behavior, and fulfilling their unspoken needs. In practice, this skill allows you to approach your child's behavior with curiosity, looking for clues about what they really need. The general concept is to give yeses to your child who didn't receive them early on. Yes, I will meet your needs because you matter to me. You might say yes aloud to your child by agreeing to give snacks, hugs, and piggyback rides when asked. You could also be saying yes by meeting needs your child doesn't recognize themselves. If your child seems grumpy, consider whether they could be dehydrated and say yes with a drink of water. By doing this, you build trust and teach the child that his or her voice matters to you. When they need you, you will be there. Behavior is the language your child uses to express unmet needs. Attunement is the tool you can use to interpret that language. For example, say your toddler throws a fit when you try to put his socks on. Instead of reacting out of frustration, your attunement to his sensory needs might prompt you to inspect the socks themselves. Lo and behold, the seams inside the socks have been catching on his little toenails. Now you can say, "Yes, I will comfort you," by flipping the socks inside out and clipping his nails. The crying stops because his need has been met. Other examples could be, if your 6-year-old wakes up crying multiple times in the night, you may need to respond each time as you would to an infant, holding and rocking him until he falls asleep. If you notice your little girl covering up her ears at loud or unfamiliar sounds, try giving her a pair of headphones. She may just be extra sensitive to auditory stimulation. If you catch your child sneaking or hoarding food, consider creating a snack basket they can access anytime. This will help create a sense of security around food. This might sound like coddling, especially for an older child. However, what you are actually doing is providing the external regulation they never got. You are helping them form a secure attachment through connection. I understand that these behaviors are frustrating. This is a tough skill to learn, and there will be mistakes along the way. But with practice, attunement can transform how you respond to your child's needs. Now that you have a strategy for approaching your child's behavior, let's explore one that will help you examine yourself. Every interaction between you and your child involves two players. While attunement enables you to fully see the child in front of you, it's also important to consider yourself as a key factor in the way a situation plays out. Mindfulness, or self-awareness, is vital to your connection with your child. Your history, your experiences, your habits, and even your own needs come into play here. When your child seems irritable, you consider whether they might be overstimulated. When you feel irritable, you need to view yourself through that same lens. Are you overstimulated or touched out? Have you eaten enough today? Are you responding to your child this way because this is how your parents responded to you? Mindfulness is how caregivers model self-regulation for their children. Before you respond to a specific behavior with a knee-jerk reaction, it's important to pause and ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is there a better way? To help you practice mindfulness, remember these steps. First, stop what you're doing. Press the pause button on your thoughts and actions. Second, take a few deep breaths and let your body relax. Third, observe what's going on with your body, emotions, and mind. What are you feeling? Finally, once you're calm, decide how you want to respond. Applied mindfulness might look like this. You just picked up your child from school and need to run to the grocery store on your way home. While walking around the store, your child touches things all along the aisles and ends up knocking some cereal boxes onto the floor. You notice your hands tighten around the cart handle and feel your shoulders tense. You remember making similar mistakes as a child and your mom's harsh and embarrassing response. You take a moment to breathe and to remind yourself that you can choose to respond differently. You then calmly ask your child to put the boxes back up on the shelf, assure them that it's okay, and carry on with your shopping. As a mindful parent, you use your body language, words, and actions to show that you can be trusted to remain calm even when their behavior is not acceptable. Seeing that their safety rope is attached to a calm, steady caregiver enables your child to feel safe and connected. Take a moment to consider common or recent behaviors from this new perspective. What needs might your child be trying to communicate? What yeses can you give to help them establish a secure attachment? Where can you practice attunement and mindfulness as you pursue a connection with your child? You are the vessel God has chosen to help your child heal. With practice and patience, you can help your child take the next step forward on the path to self-regulation.